All right, boys and girls, we're going to start with Mr. Cunningham going up against Portland. Absolutely in play. Going to try to shove him. Like I said, I've tweaked my play style just a little bit. You absolutely have to play the spend ups in your winning lineups. Um, Cunningham is one of those guys, and he's under 10K with a 55, 60 point upside, going up against an awful defense with a bunch of failures, specifically a guy that calls himself dominating, but we'll get to him shortly. Fire up Cade Cunningham. Scotty Barnes, I don't quite have him in that tier with Cunningham. I don't he's not as dependable. See some 30s peeking out here, 38, 64, 38. Like, that's what I'm talking about. With Barrett on the court, absolutely he's going to take some of his usage. Ain't no one taking Cade Cunningham's usage because the rest of that team's absolute ass. Barrett takes up a lot of usage. Quickly has to get his. Pirtle's going to get his. So that takes away from Scotty Barnes' upside. Let's see who exactly is playing with Scotty Barnes. Everybody, okay. Quickly is available. Barrett is questionable. And Pirtle should be fine. So, yeah. So, Cunningham's the better play. That doesn't mean that Barnes can't outscore Cunningham. It just means that Cunningham is more likely to outscore Barnes. I'm trying to be very mindful of how I explain how I like a player, because I'm well aware that a lot of people are watching videos that are meant for, large contests. And if you take that advice of people playing large contests and you apply that to your single entry, you're going to lose a majority of the time. And if you do watch those shows and you're newer to DFS and you lose a lot, that's why. The advice I'm giving you is going to be more helpful to someone playing single entry, 3-entry, double ups, cash games, smaller contests. Brunson's an okay play. Prefer Cat because of his upside. Orlando is defensive and slow as far as pace. 9K for Brunson. I'd rather find some change and play Cunningham. Harden's an okay play, but he hasn't been putting up Harder numbers like that. Now Kawhi's back. Norman Powell stepped up. He doesn't need to go crazy. He's hit 40 in one of the last 5 games that he played. If you're playing 8.9 for a guy, you need him to be able to give you 50 any given night. Harden's in the player pool, but he's not going to make my 1 or 2 lineups. Lillard, very shot dependent lately. If Giannis gets it going, you're dead in the water with Lillard, unless them two are going back and forth. Don't think I need him. Maxey, anything to do with Maxey is dependent on Embiid. Still questionable. We're almost at the All-Star break. My man's still questionable. He's been playing better. He looks a little bit better. I haven't been analyzing him, but he looks a little bit better. But we need Embiid to be, healthy. If Embiid is in, Maxey's an okay play. If Embiid is out, Maxey's a great play. But I think Embiid plays. I think Halliburton wanted some money last night. I played him on DraftKings 8,300. I think we cashed with Halliburton. I think I remember telling y'all that Halliburton was too cheap. Guess what? His ass is too cheap again. Fire up Halliburton at 8,400 before his price goes right back up. I want no parts of Giddey. I've seen enough. We've seen enough of certain players for this season, and they're unreliable, and they've cost us money. And we're at that point of the season where we know who's what, And Giddy's, he's not worth 7,700. He's not even worth 77 cents. You can't depend on him. Get him the fuck out of here. I don't mind Quickly at 7K, but you need a high scoring game. I don't mind Quickly in a Giannis lineup or Quickly in a Lillard lineup, but you need that game to go off for Quickly to pay this off. Because remember, Pirtle got to get his. Barnes got to get his. If Barrett plays, he got to get his. If Barrett is out, Quickly looks a bit better. Kobe White is streaky. He's an okay player. I know his last game he was good, or he had a good game. Last time he played, I don't care about all that. He's unreliable. Or he's streaky. I don't want to say unreliable. He's streaky. 43-32, 51-29. See what I'm saying? That's streaky. I don't want to say unreliable. He shows up to work. It's not like he's mailing it in. Sometimes he just doesn't hit his shots. So he's streaky. Don't want to throw dirt on somebody that is trying. Dinwiddie against Memphis. I'm not taking. Nope. No, thank you. I think I tried to warn y'all. Who did they play? Cleveland? Was it Cleveland they played? Yeah, Cleveland. Remember I tried to warn y'all about Dinwiddie and PJ Washington with no Kyrie? That I'd be scared? Yeah, staying away from that. Same thing with Memphis. Staying away from it. Dinwiddie has to have a lot of things go right for him to pay this off. And he needs somebody else to help him. He needs somebody else to be scoring with him because he's got to get some assists too. Who is it going to be? PJ Washington? Listen, I wouldn't trust PJ Washington with my goldfish. Anthony Simons, he's an okay play. Let's see his last 5 games. 19, 40, 37, 38, and 44. At 6,400, he's worth the risk. If Dominating is out, I'll give him... Why am I calling him Dominating? If DeAndre Ayton is out, I'm going to give Simons a little bit of a bump. Pippen Jr.'s price is coming up, but his production is going down. The fuck's going on? They're watching his minutes. They're playing a lot of players, and even with Morant out, we're not getting the production that we need. We're not getting the production that we need from Pippen that we're used to getting at this price, 6.2. So he's an okay play if he's your last man in, but I'm not going to be shoving in my lineup like we were doing last month. I just paused a little bit because I just saw something come across my screen on Twitter. Let me read it out loud for y'all. Suns to start Ryan Dunn, Mason Plumlee over Bradley Beal, and Yusuf Nurkic beginning on Monday. That ain't going to fly well with Bradley Beal. I'll tell y'all that right now. That's not going to fly well with Bradley Beal. He's getting traded. I'm telling you. Wow. NBA's in shambles. You got Jimmy Butler. You got Beal. You got the whole Miami Heat organization. You got whatever's going on with Kuminga. You got whatever's going on with Jackson Davis because his minutes be a little bit fugazi also. There's a lot of stuff going on in the sports world. Y'all gonna hear about it tomorrow when y'all wake up, but there's a lot of stuff going on in the sports world. What a time to be alive. Who else is here? Chris Paul, 6K against Chicago. I don't mind that. I need like 15 assists from him though, because he doesn't shoot a lot. The Spurs are low-key a good team. They got some tremendous wings. The problem with Chris Paul is that Chris Paul doesn't have to do much and they're still going to win. 15 fantasy points, he played 31 minutes. And people fight me to the death about Chris Paul. 14 fantasy points, 44, 30, 33, 15. I don't play players like this. Because you could have every other piece right, and Chris Paul give you a Chris Paul game, and your lineup is dead in the water. That's just my play style. I just don't like playing guys that can do this. They're like dynamite. They can just go off and ruin your whole lineup. Simmons, he's another one that needs to be traded. He needs to go get out the league. Shaedon Sharpe is too cheap. I play guys like that, high upside, under 6K. If he has a regular game, I still have a shot to cash. Last night, I had almost all my pieces correct. Kuminga got hurt. We still cashed. Tonight, I had Jackson Davis in the lineup. That lineup cashed. I had DeRozan in the same lineup. I think that lineup had first place, some shit like that. Cashed. Why? Because everything else was correct. You have to have everything else correct just to have a chance. This ain't 3-4 years ago where you could have zeros. Yeah, we had a zero in cash this week, but it's not usually like that. It's just because everybody played the same player. But you need to be literally perfect in all your spots. I like Sharp because he's under 6K. If he gives me 27 fantasy points, I still have a chance at cash. I think they're gonna try to limit Russell because he's back leading this offense. He's always played well on Brooklyn. And if they leave him in too long, he's gonna cook. So I don't think they're gonna let him cook. The 26 minutes, 42 fantasy points. 28 minutes, 37 fantasy points. 14 minutes, 15 fantasy points. Nah, your shin don't look right, my man. Come to the bat. So I'm not expecting to see Russell play any meaningful minutes for Brooklyn anytime soon because they're trying to tank. Tyus Jones in the starting lineup with no Beal, that could help. Jones, Booker, Durant, Plumlee, Dunn. Tyus Jones should be able to get a few more fantasy points out of that, but I'm not going to be looking to play him. Keon Johnson, no thank you. If Keon Johnson was free, I still wouldn't play him. Take a shot on Nembhard, take a shot on Henderson, Cole Anthony. I had Cole Anthony in a winning lineup. He didn't really do much. He shot 5 for 14, so he got the minutes that I needed him to get. He took the shots that he needed. He got blocks. He got some rebounds. He's fine. I'd rather play Cole Anthony, but just make sure that he's starting. Just pay attention to that because, like I said, they don't like him like that. The rest of these guys we probably don't need right now. Let's go to shooting guard. Booker in play looks a lot better with Beal not in the starting lineup. Anthony Edwards going nuclear, knowing that his team is ass and he has to do everything by himself. Levine's in play. Paul George looks better with no Embiid. Norman Powell's an okay play, but Kawhi's back. That's going to take some of his usage. Mikal Bridges against Orlando. Don't really like playing players against Orlando, but if he's your last man in, okay. Vast was in play. Klay Thompson is straight cheeks. Mathurin's in play. No Dallas Mavericks for me. No thank you. No Grady Dick for me. Wells, 5,300. I'd rather play Cole Anthony. If he's your last man in, fine. No Hardy for me. No Hardaway for me. No Queen for me. Let's just go to Castle. No, I don't think we need Castle. I don't think we need Castle with everybody healthy. 16 minutes. Small forward. All right, we're going to keep our eyes on Barrett. We'll keep our eyes on Bane. If Bane can't go, Jaren Jackson gets a bump. LaRavia gets a bump. Pippen gets a bump. Everybody gets a little bit of a bump. Kawhi Leonard's going to play 20 minutes or so. Let's keep our eye on his restrictions because he's 8K. He's going to need to go. He's going to need full run to pay off 7,900. So I don't know what that pricing is. Beal off the bench, no thank you. Because he's going to have an attitude, so I'm not with it. Avdi is in play. Middleton if you're desperate. Zaire Williams, I don't really mind if he's your last man in because of the matchup, but don't be surprised if he ruins your lineup. No KCP. Kamara if you're desperate. Conchar if there's no Bane and they start Conchar. Ausar Thompson if he starts at 4,600. Keldon, I don't think we need Keldon Johnson. Dunn, 4,100. He's not going to shoot enough. He was getting these shots off the bench. What is he going to do starting? 4,100? I guess if you want to take a shot in the first game while he's 4,100, you can take a shot. But I got to be playing a lot of lineups to be playing Ryan Dunn, who's going to be sitting next to Booker and Durant and Tyus Jones. So He's what, fourth option, fifth option. If he's your last man in, I guess it's okay. But Dunn, Barnes, last man in, fine. Champagne's okay. If that's your last man in. We can't play everybody that's expensive. I understand. All right, let's go to power forward. If you're new, welcome. Appreciate you taking time to watch my video. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. Hit the bell, thumbs up the video. You don't have time to wait for news. You don't have time to wait for starting lineups. You don't have time to do your own research. You want me to send you my finalized optimal lineups right before lock. Check out the Patreon link in the description. Check out the channel memberships right here on YouTube. Super chats are open. Everything else will be in the description. And we're going to go to power forward. And we're going to speed this along. Giannis, 11-3, nothing to talk about there. If he's playing, you play him. You find value, you play him. Durant looks better with Bill out the starting lineup. Jackson's in play, looks better with no Bane. Hart is an okay play. Randall is cheeks. Siakam's okay, but if somebody else on Indiana goes off, that affects him. That's why his price is dropping. I don't mind Bobby Portis if you're trying to be cute. Avdi is in play. PJ Washington is... I can't do it. I don't want nothing from Dallas. He's not a bad play. I just personally don't want to put him in my lineup. You could take a shot on Sohan, but the problem with Sohan is that 1B has been going nuclear. Tobias Harris seems like you want to be aggressive, but he took 13 shots. I like his minutes. He grabbed 11 rebounds. I think he was in my Halliburton lineup. That Cash, if I'm not mistaken. I know I played him though. Tobias Harris at 54, I could take a shot on with no Ivy. Fire up Tobias Harris. I don't believe I'm saying that. I'm not really interested in De Silva or Carter, but I can see it. Arabia will keep an eye on. Bane, Patrick Williams, no thank you. No Reed for me. No Achua for me. Not really interested in nobody else down there right now. In that center, Wemby. Wemby is a monster. My man shot 2 for 12 and still has 63 fantasy points. Wemby is a monster. They're playing Chicago. Listen, he's probably going to have 80 fantasy points. Find value and play him. Cat's been outstanding. Cat's been amazing. If you can't find enough value to get to Wemby, then play Towns if he plays. Yeah, not much to talk about. Find value and play these guys. These are your first guys in. Wemby, Cat, Cunningham, Giannis. Those are your first guys in. Vooch is in play. Zubac's in play. His stock goes down a little bit with Kawhi back now. They don't need him as much. Goga's absolutely in play. Pearl's in play. Miles Turner's in play. I heard that they're giving Ayton the day off for rest. It's not really rest because Portland's not really doing nothing. They're really just telling him that he's a bitch. So let's keep our eye on Ayton's availability. Claxton, I'm not really interested in because I don't like his demeanor. He be getting himself kicked out of games. Durant, if you want to be cute. The thing is, they don't need Ayton. If Ayton can't go, you're gonna fire up one of their backups. That's all it is. Nurkic off the bench? Nah, he's gonna be in a pissy mood. Gobert. I'll be trying to not talk down on him, but where is it? He had like no points the other day. 6 points. Look, 14 and 16 back to back. He's banned. I'm not playing no guy that's 7'1" that could only give me 14 fantasy points. You can't give me double-digit rebounds. Yeah, Josh Hart could give me 10 rebounds. Yeah, okay. And you're right under the bat? Nah, I'm good. Edie, if you're desperate. No Lively for me, no Gafford for me. We don't need him. Plumlee starting at 4,400. I don't want to play him against Embiid, but he's not a bad play. And I don't see anybody else that stands out to me. We'll keep an eye on the Portland Black backups because DeAndre Ayton's a bitch. And I think that's about it. I'm going to go about my night. Hope y'all had a great weekend. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell, thumbs up the video. Check out the Patreon link in the description. Check out the channel memberships. And I'll talk to y'all later. Ciao.